And this could be a big one. Internal talks at Arsenal continue over the recruitment of a forward. There's a long-term interest in Benjamin ŠEŠKO from RB Leipzig.
Right, in terms of a striker, though, the big question for most Arsenal fans is what's going on with the striker search? Do you think Arsenal will be able to get one of their main targets in January, or are they going to have to wait until the summer, which won't please the fans?
They're really difficult deals to do in this window. If you look, for example, at Benjamin ŠEŠKO at Leipzig, he's a name that's been linked with Arsenal again and again and again. And there must be a reason for that. That interest is clearly there. But if you look at Leipzig historically, those big deals, they don't tend to do in January. What they do is they agree a new contract with the player, and then there's usually a gentleman's agreement in there somewhere that do one more season with us, and then the following summer we can do something at a reasonable fee that won't trap you at the club. So everybody wins. Leipzig get their money, they've developed a player, the buying club gets their player, and they get to move on to what they feel is the next level. He's been brilliant this season for Leipzig, but they cannot afford to let him go in this window. They're not guaranteed to qualify for the Champions League. They're already out of this season's Champions League, and they're still pushing for the DFB Pokal, which is the German Cup. Why would you let one of your top-line strikers go in this window when you know he'll still retain his value for the summer?
Well, then who else is there? I mean,
for the summer.
Well, then who else is there? I mean, he would be right up there. Cunha, different type of player. Vlahovic.
That's an interesting one because he's expensive for Juventus in terms of his wages. It isn't a perfect fit, Vlahovic and Thiago Motta. There is a feeling that he would like a different type of striker going forward, so that's potentially an option.
Arsenal fans, listen up. Your club is on the move. Right, we've had Sammy Mokbel of the Mail say that Aston Villa have rejected an official bid from Arsenal for Ollie Watkins. We've got more. Fabrizio Romano has said that official bid was £60 million. Dharmesh Sheth, your reaction?
Well, I was talking about, whether Arsenal could get a forward deal done in this transfer window, and they're looking at long-term options and short-term options as well. Watkins wouldn't be a short-term option. He's a player that they have admired for a while, and if they could get a deal like that done, they would obviously look at it in the summer, because that's when they want to do their big business. But as I mentioned before, during this window, if they can get something done in a January transfer window, they would go for it. But with 5 days to go in this window, and especially with all this talk about John Duran and the Saudi Arabian club as well, and the timing of this as well. Aston Villa have got an absolutely massive Champions League game tonight against Celtic. So it is amazing that Arsenal, if all of this is true, we're trying to check it out with our sources as well. If this is true, it's an audacious bid, and the timing of it is extraordinary, because how would, if Villa were to entertain anything like this, try and find a replacement in the time that they got left?
Exactly. Would Villa let him go this late in the window?
I think, look, I can understand why Arsenal supporters are very excited at the moment because Ollie Watkins is an out-and-out striker, number 9. A lot of Arsenal fans would say he's the kind of player we've been crying out for. But I think we should show Aston Villa some respect, because they've got a big Champions League game this evening against Celtic. There have already been stories about John Duran possibly leaving. The timing of this is not going to go down well at Villa Park. A couple of hours before a big game, a story of this magnitude coming out. Now, Sammy Mokbel at the Daily Mail, who's reported this first, he's an excellent journalist, has got brilliant contacts, and he is saying that Arsenal have made this bid. It's been rejected, but he expects Arsenal to go back in with an improved offer. And something else that Sammy has dug up is the fact that Ollie Watkins is an Arsenal fan. And in 2020, when he was at Brentford, he admitted that it would be his dream one day to play for Arsenal.